Assalamu alaikum everyone. First we are going to discuss what the reasons are why children hate the Quran, and in the next video I will tell you what you can do about it. Let me start with a story. There is this girl who is 6 years old. Her mother teaches her to read the Quran, and one day suddenly the girl gets so angry that she goes to the other room, she closes the door, she throws away the Quran and she jumps on it. True story. 6-year-old girl, Muslim parents. Yes, you're speechless, right? And there is another girl who goes to someone else's house to read the Quran, to learn the Quran. The teacher is a woman, and that girl is also younger than 10 years old. She goes there after school, so she is, tired of the whole day. She struggles to read, and what happens? The teacher hits her in her face. True story. Young girl, Muslim teacher. I refuse to believe that kids hate the Quran, that it's the holy book, a reason for them to hate. It's really difficult to hate a thing or a book. Let's say, is there anything that you hate, that you really, really hate? Can you hate a pen? No, you can't. Can you hate a chair? No, you can't. Can you hate a book? No, you can't. Yes, you can hate a pen because it reminds you of that one person who gave it to you and you hate that person. That could be a reason for you to hate the pen. Or yes, you could hate a chair because that one person always used to sit on that chair and talk bad to you or about you. Yes, you can hate a book because the way someone thought to you was hateful. And add to this that a child, a teenager, a young Muslim doesn't really know what's written in the Quran. So they cannot hate it for what's written in the Quran. The way he or she will understand what's written in the Quran is by how we explain it to them. Do we it in a lovely way or do we it in a hateful way? So here are the 5 main things why your child hates the Quran. Number 1 is the way of teaching. I see parents get ambitious, especially when it's their first child. They want him to finish the Quran at the age of 5 or even 4. Like it's a competition. And what is the reason behind that they want him to finish? I think it's so that they can say to everyone, oh, my son finished the Quran at the age of 5. And some people would do anything to achieve that goal, even hit their child, or they will abuse them in one way or the other, emotional or psychological. They will say things like,
how many times have I told you that it's like that, not like that?
Why don't you remember? Why do you always forget?
Hurry up, I still have to cook.
This is how some people teach the Quran, and some people believe that it's the correct way of teaching. Now, let's assume that this is the correct way of teaching. But how do they teach things at school? When they learn ABC at school, how is it done? It's like
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
And it's like that. They sing it, they play it, they make fun of it. And then they come home and they see, and the children, they see their parents get angry about reading the Quran. And then they go back to school. And the school is again like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then they come home and it's like,
You're still on the third sipara. Why don't you read more? It has to be more so that we finish it faster.
And they are sad, and then they go back to school and the teacher and their friends are like, oh, are you sad? Oh, come on, I'll give you a hug. And then they come home and they see their parents get angry. And even if you believe that your method is good, there is a better way of teaching. Because your child has seen better than that. Okay, maybe you were taught that way, but you never saw another way of teaching. That's the way you knew things, but now things are different. Which way of teaching do you prefer now for yourself? So there is an easy trick to know how your kids learn from you. Ask your child a stupid question about technology, phones maybe, and see how they react. Do they answer you back like in a very nice and polite way? Or do they shout at you, how many times haven't I told you how it works? You know, there is nothing wrong with the young generation. They are just a reflection of our unresolved traumas. And if you are willing to be really, really honest with yourself, go ask your child. Does your child remember how he learned the Quran? What are his feelings and thoughts about it? Second point is hitting children. I see parents hit their children because they are not reading the Quran in a correct way. If you ever hit your child once, your game is over, dude. Your game is over. Look, if we have an excellent person who always does things right, but once he makes a mistake, what will happen? What will people around him will do? They will suddenly forget all the good things he has done, and they will only talk about the bad things. They will say, oh, but he was such a nice person. Why has he become like that? Oh, something has ruined his life. And that's all they're going to talk about. And the same goes for your child. If your teaching process is good, but you hit your child once, even once, and you don't apologize after that, it's all over. Your respect, your dignity, love for Quran, it's all over. Everything. And all he will remember is, oh, they used to punch me when I read the Quran. Oh, and how many times you got punched while you were young for reading the Quran? It doesn't really matter. To make this more dramatic and to go back to the story I told before, I have seen parents hit other children, not even their own children, someone else's children. Mind-blowing. Look, we don't live in the 60s or the 70s or the 80s, not even the 90s. In this era where everyone is talking about Me Too and Black Lives Matter, in this era where even verbal aggression is not allowed anymore, how do you think you can justify to your child being physically abusive? I'm just going to stop it here. But just summarize. Look, if you have hit your child, go apologize to your child. I don't care if your child is 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years, 20, 50 years old. I don't care. You have to apologize. You have to work things out. And you can undo the damage. Well, not completely, but a little bit. Depends on how your child will react. Number 3, the unknown religion. Look, in the West, when a child gets a certain age, we parents start teaching them suddenly about Quran. And for us, it's like, oh, he's that age, he's 7 years old, he's 5 years old, he's 7 years old. This is what he needs to do. It's a task on our list, and we want to check it. And that's all we want. But the child who grows up in the West, they haven't heard about religion in their whole life. They haven't seen religion. They don't know what the Quran is. They don't know what Islam is. All they know is playing around and hanging around. And if your child is somehow between 7 and 10, 5 and 10, for example, and you start imposing your ways of teaching things, and you will start hitting him, he will hate the Quran. Number 4, fear of Allah. You know, we're living our normal life and everything is going good in life, and we forget to mention Allah to our kids. We forget to tell them how good He is, how He has created all those things for us, how we should praise Him. We all forget that. We never mention that to our child. But suddenly, when our child does something wrong, we are like,
Don't do that. Allah will get mad at you. Allah doesn't like people who do such things.
I've seen so many parents say that, and this is not true. This is not true. If your parents used to say that to you, it's not true. Allah doesn't punish children. Allah is the one who has given freedom to every one of us, even about our own religion. So why would He punish a child? No one punishes a child. Even the law of any country doesn't punish. Children are not punished for a crime. They are sent to a treatment center. So don't create hate for Allah in your child's heart. It's simple to understand. For example, if your child starts to go to school, they don't teach him at school, when you grow up and you do drugs and you kill people, you will go to jail for life. It doesn't happen like that. All they do is like
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
They teach with songs and playing and politely and with love and small stories and characters and animals and you know what I mean. Number 5 is emotions. We don't use emotions to love Quran. we ourselves as adults, we don't do it. For most of us, before we leave to our jobs or anything, we read the Quran. We read the Quran. Most of us, I believe, read the Quran in the morning, and that's a task to uncheck. Another task to uncheck. Imagine you were reading a novel. Okay, so every morning before going off to school or work, you read one page of that novel. You close the book, you put it away, you go to school or work, and someone over there asks you, "So you read that novel every single day?" And you're like, yeah, I do. And they're like, "Then you know what's written in it." "Oh, no, I don't pay attention to that. It's just that I read to check in my to-do list. That's all." I mean, come on. And this is how kids see their parents too. How many times has it happened that you were reading the Quran in front of your kids and you started to cry? You started to cry because of a story that was so touching, or that you were excited by all the things that Allah has created, and that you started to praise Him by yourself and your eyes were glowing. It doesn't happen much. Our kids don't see that. If we don't have emotions while we are reading the Quran, if you don't feel the words, how are our kids going to feel that? They don't. So these are the 5 main reasons that I believe that a child doesn't love the Quran. Look, it's sad if a child doesn't love the Quran, but the feeling of love, you cannot create it. It's not something that you can force. It's like you cannot force someone to love someone. It doesn't work like that. But look, if your child doesn't love the Quran, you can have a chit chat with your child and at least ask him to respect the Quran, even if they don't love the Quran. Let's start with that. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about how to create love for Quran, for yourself, for your children. So you might want to consider subscribing, okay? Making this video was kind of very depressing for me. But as I searched on YouTube, I saw that this topic, "My child hates the Quran," is searched so much that I had to do this. But there is good news, and that is that things can change. You can change things as a parent if you are willing to do so. So I will soon upload a video about how to create love for Quran. And to all the people who are watching this and they are like, yeah, this is how I learned the Quran. Let it be clear that if the teacher is bad, the subject doesn't have to be bad, but that you need to find another teacher. And there is a lot you can find on YouTube, but be careful. There are some excellent videos that explain everything very well, but there are also videos that I say, oh, I cannot watch those. The choice of wording is too kind of weird. But if you find the right teacher, the love for Quran will come automatically. You don't need to force that. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.